Look at some other major hurricanes in America's history. Great Galveston Hurricane, 1900, with a wind speed of 145 miles per hour, 233 kilometers per hour. This hurricane qualified as a Category 4 storm. The hurricane struck the coast city of Galveston in Texas, one of the deadliest and costliest storms in the history of the United States. It claimed approximately 8,000 lives and damaged properties worth $20 million, assessed on the basis of USD rate in 1900. Galveston Hurricane, 1915. Galveston fell prey to yet another major hurricane just 15 years after the Great Hurricane struck. It was a major Category 4 storm that generated waves reaching as high as 21 feet, 6.4 meters, causing a great deal of destruction. It left about 400 people dead and caused damages amounting to $50 million, assessed on the basis of USD rate in 1915. Miami Hurricane, 1926. This Category 4 hurricane produced the highest sustained wind speed ever recorded in the United States at the time. It led to a storm surge of nearly 15 feet, 4.5 meters, high. The hurricane ended the economic boom in South Florida and destroyed $78.5 million, assessed on the basis of USD rate in 1926, worth of properties, making it one of the costliest in the U.S. history. The death toll remains uncertain, since more than 800 people went missing after the cyclone. However, a Red Cross International report says that 373 people died and 6,381 were injured. San Felipe Okeechobee Hurricane, 1928. It was a Category 5 hurricane that made landfall near Palm Beach, Florida, causing heavy casualties and destruction. The Lake Okeechobee area bore the major brunt, where the lake surged 6 to 9 feet, up to 2.7 meters, inundating the nearby locations and killing 1,836 people. Other than that, 312 people died in Puerto Rico and 18 deaths were reported from the Bahamas. Properties worth $100 million, assessed on the basis of USD rates in 1928, were damaged in Florida. Florida Keys Labor Day Hurricane, 1935. When it reached Florida, it was a Category 5 hurricane. It created havoc and ran through the Florida Keys before turning northward. It caused 408 deaths in the Florida Keys and damaged properties worth $6 million, assessed on the basis of USD rates in 1935. New England Hurricane, 1938, also known as the Long Island Express. It was first detected over the tropical Atlantic. Wind speeds were measured between 121 miles per hour, 194 kilometers per hour, to 183 miles per hour, 294 kilometers per hour, making it a Category 5 hurricane. Heavy rains led to flooding along the Connecticut River, causing the loss of 600 lives and properties worth $308 million, assessed on the basis of USD rates in 1938. Hurricane Hazel, 1954. The Category 4 hurricane led to high winds in parts of the eastern United States. In North Carolina, wind speeds were measured up to 130 miles per hour, 209 kilometers per hour, to 150 miles per hour, 241 kilometers per hour. A storm surge of up to 18 feet, 5.4 meters, inundated portions of the North Carolina coast. 95 people were killed and properties worth $281 million, assessed on the basis of 1,954 US dollars rates, were damaged. Hurricane Carol, 1954, one of the worst tropical cyclones which primarily affected the New England region of the United States. Hurricane Carol went on to damage property and lives in North Carolina and New York as well. 72 deaths were reported and properties worth $462 million, assessed on the basis of 1,954 US dollars rates, were destroyed by this Category 3 storm. Hurricane Diane, 1955, North Carolina. The mid-Atlantic states and New England were affected by this Category 3 hurricane. Though only a small part of North Carolina was affected, it was the heavy rains that caused widespread floods. The storm, coupled with floods, caused 184 deaths and damaged $832 million, assessed on the basis of $1,955 rates worth of properties. Hurricane Audrey, 1957, it struck Texas, Louisiana as a Category 4 hurricane and caused heavy rains over portions of the eastern United States and Canada. The hurricane caused storm surges rising up to 12 feet, 3.6 meters. Most of the deaths were caused by these surges. Overall, 390 people died and losses amounted to $150 million, assessed on the basis of $1,957 rates. Hurricane Donna, 1960. The Category 5 hurricane gave rise to storm surges, which rose up to 13 feet, 4 meters, in the Florida Keys and wind speeds clocking 128 miles per hour, 208 kilometers per hour. It claimed 50 lives in the United States and damaged properties worth $387 million, assessed on the basis of $1,960 rates. Hurricane Betsy, 1965. This Category 4 storm hit the areas of Florida and the central United States Gulf Coast. It was the first tropical cyclone to cause damages more than $1 billion, assessed on the basis of $1,965 rates. 81 people were killed. Hurricane Camille, 1969. It formed west of the Cayman Islands in the Atlantic and gained momentum before striking Cuba. It maintained the intensity until striking the Mississippi coast. On reaching the Mississippi coast, it was so strong that it destroyed the wind recording instruments. Some estimated Camille to be 200 miles per hour, 321 kilometers per hour, near the coast and 120 miles per hour, 193 kilometers per hour, inland. It led to rainfall up to 10 inches. As the storm passed Virginia, it produced a burst of 12 to 20 inches of rainfall, causing flash flooding. It claimed 256 lives and caused losses amounting to $1.42 billion, assessed on the basis of $1,969 rates. Hurricane Agnes, 1972. It was the second tropical cyclone of the 1972 Atlantic hurricane season. When Agnes reached Florida, it was classified as Category 1 hurricane. The effects were minor in Florida. However, the major impact was over the northeastern United States. It caused 122 deaths and damaged properties worth $2.1 billion, assessed on the basis of $1,972 rates. Hurricane Alicia, 1983. By the time it reached the western end of Galveston Island in Texas, Alicia had become a Category 3 hurricane. Sustained winds of 96 miles per hour, 154 kilometers per hour, with gusts to 125 miles per hour, 201 kilometers per hour, were reported. Hobby Airport at Houston, Texas reported 94 miles per hour, 151 kilometers per hour, sustained winds with gusts to 107 miles per hour, 172 kilometers per hour. These strong winds caused heavy damage. 21 people lost their lives and properties worth $2 billion, assessed on the basis of $1,983 rates, were destroyed. Hurricane Andrew, 1992. It started as a modest tropical wave but went on to be one of the deadliest hurricanes of all time. Gusts as strong as 177 miles per hour, 284 kilometers per hour, were reported at places. In Florida, it produced a 17-foot, 5.2-meter, storm surge. It even produced a deadly tornado in Louisiana. Across the United States, 23 people were killed and properties worth $26.5 billion, assessed on the basis of $1,992 rates, were destroyed. Hurricane Georges, 1998. It was the second costliest Atlantic hurricane since Hurricane Andrew in 1992. Though it did not cause any fatalities in the United States, The Category 2 storm damaged properties worth $676.8 million, assessed on the basis of $1,998 rates, in Mississippi. Hurricane Floyd, 1999. Hurricane Floyd caused heavy rainfalls in excess of 10 inches, 25 centimeters, in some parts, traversing through North Carolina and New England after striking at the Bahamas. The Category 2 storm caused severe flooding, which claimed 56 lives and devastated properties worth $6.9 billion, assessed on the basis of $1,999 rates. Hurricane Francis, 2004. It started as a Category 4 storm with wind speed of 145 miles per hour, 233 kilometers per hour, but by the time it reached the shores of Florida, it had weakened to a Category 2 storm with maximum wind speed of up to 105 miles per hour, 168 kilometers per hour. It caused heavy rains which led to flooding in the eastern parts of the United States. Leadville Falls in North Carolina recorded a maximum rainfall of 18.07 inches. 45 centimeters. It even led to 100 tornadoes in the southeastern and mid-Atlantic states. 8 people lost their lives, 7 in the United States and 1 in the Bahamas. Properties worth $8.9 billion, assessed on the basis of 2004 US dollars rates, were damaged. Hurricane Jeanne, 2004, when it struck Puerto Rico, it was just 70 miles per hour strong, 112 kilometers per hour, but it gradually gathered strength and made landfall at Florida near Stuart, virtually the same place where Hurricane Francis had struck 3 weeks earlier. Most of the destruction was caused in Puerto Rico and Hispaniola. Rains led to floods in Puerto Rico and mudslides in Haiti, with 3,000 people losing their lives and about 200,000 rendered homeless. 3 deaths occurred in Florida, and 1 each in Puerto Rico, South Carolina, and Virginia. The United States suffered damage of $6.9 billion, assessed on the basis of 2004 US dollars rates. Hurricane Charley, 2004. 2004 was a year of many hurricanes. Hurricane Charley was a minor one in comparison to Francis and Jeanne. It made landfall in Florida. The storm surge did not exceed 7 feet, 2.1 meters. The violent winds caused some devastation, but rainfall amounts were modestly less than 8 inches, 20 centimeters. It, however, led to 16 tornadoes in Florida, North Carolina and Virginia. The Category 4 hurricane killed 10 people and damaged properties worth $15 billion, assessed on the basis of 2004 US dollars rates. Hurricane Ivan, 2004. Ivan struck as a major Category 5 storm and affected Louisiana, Texas and Florida. It led to heavy rainfall up to 10 to 15 inches, up to 38 centimeters. Properties worth $18.2 billion, assessed on the basis of 2004 US dollars rates, were devastated and 25 people were killed. Hurricane Rita, 2005. It was the 3rd Category 5 hurricane of the season and it caused some serious damage in Texas, southwestern Louisiana and Florida Keys. It caused storm surge flooding of 10 to 15 feet above the normal level in Louisiana. It even led to heavy rainfalls of 5 to 9 inches and caused 90 tornadoes over the southern United States. It claimed 7 lives and caused damages amounting to $10 billion, assessed on the basis of 2005 US dollars rates, in the United States. Hurricane Katrina, 2005, one of the most devastating hurricanes in the history of the United States. It destroyed properties worth over $108 billion, assessed on the basis of 2005 US dollars rates, making it the costliest hurricane in the United States so far. It reached Florida as a Category 1 storm and strengthened to Category 3 by the time it reached Louisiana. Southern Florida received 10 to 14 inches, up to 35 centimeters, of rain due to Katrina. It even led to 33 tornadoes. About 1,200 deaths were reported due to Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Wilma, 2005. Hurricane Wilma was the last Category 3 hurricane to have hit the United States. It made landfall near Marco Island, Florida, damaged properties worth $21 billion, assessed on the basis of 2005 US dollars rates, and claimed 45 lives. Hurricane Ike, 2008, the Category 2 storm affected Texas, Louisiana and Arkansas, causing 155 deaths and damage to properties worth $20.5 billion, assessed on the basis of 2008 US dollars rates. Hurricane Alex, 2010, it was the first hurricane in the Atlantic Basin since Hurricane Allison in 1995 to strike in June. Areas of southern Texas were particularly affected due to widespread flooding. The Category 2 hurricane damaged properties worth $1.8 billion, assessed on the basis of 2010 US dollars rates, and killed 51. Hurricane Irene, 2011, this Category 1 hurricane made landfall in North Carolina and caused damages worth $7.3 billion, assessed on the basis of 2011 US dollars rates, and claimed 45 lives. It is ranked as the 7th costliest hurricane in the United States history. Hurricane Isaac, 2012, the fourth hurricane of the annual hurricane season, was classified as a Category 1 storm. Before hitting Louisiana, it was of moderate intensity, but reached a peak of 80 mph, 128 km/h. Later, it weakened once reaching inland, but not before producing tornadoes. 41 people lost their lives and properties worth $2.39 billion, assessed on the basis of 2012 US dollars rates, got damaged. Hurricane Sandy, 2012, though it is considered to be one of the deadliest hurricanes of recent times, it was only a Category 2 storm. The coastlines of New Jersey and New York fell in Sandy's path. It destroyed properties worth $50 billion, assessed on the basis of 2012 US dollars rates, and caused 165 deaths.